Welcome back, my friends. I'm Johnny B with JohnnyB.com. Do you know that there's certain neighborhoods that have enjoyed hundreds of % higher appreciation than others? This is a historical fact. As you know, a lot of people ask me, why is it that the West Side has the most expensive homes? Well, take a look at the employment map. You notice on the East Side, there's very few high-tech jobs. The biggest employers in the Bay Area are Facebook, Google, and Apple. There are others. Amazon's a huge employer, but a lot of those employees are not high-paying jobs. As you look, this is kind of in the shape of an egg. And one of the things that I suggest to people is pick your location very carefully. There's the Diridon station, which is going in here. Google's putting in a new campus at the Diridon station, and so that will add 20,000 jobs in this area. So that'll push up the values here, but you're at the end of what I call the Silicon Valley egg. And when you're at the very end, you can't pull from 360 degrees, you can only pull from this direction. And so that means when you change jobs, you gotta drive all the way up, and that's a long commute. So this is what's causing a difference in appreciation. It's the employer. So let's take a look. We'll start with the big picture. This is California home prices. California has enjoyed a 5.6% appreciation, and it is a powerhouse financially in the United States. The county of Santa Clara enjoyed a 13.2% appreciation rate during the last year. This is for the entire county, not just the city. And you can see the map here. You can see a little slowdown in this section. This is prices as you go up in time. This is because of the presidential election, and then we've had midterm elections and a lot of political turmoil and some increases in interest rate, and that's caused a flattening here. But look at Zillow's appreciation forecast. My advice, forget about their forecast, they have no clue, but in this case I happen to agree with them. And then let's drill down a little deeper. Cupertino, as you recall, has fantastic schools. This is the appreciation though, 8.2%, far less than the county. And memorize this, we're at $2.29 million for the average home in Cupertino. Sunnyvale is a cheaper area at $1.85 million. And it's enjoying an 8.8% appreciation, stronger than Cupertino. Remember Cupertino? 8.2, Sunnyvale, 8.8. Now, what about the schools? The schools in Sunnyvale are nowhere near as good as Cupertino. And now let's take this down further. Here's Santa Clara, 14.5% change. Whoa, why is that? Well, it's $1.4 million average price. So if you look at the map again of employers, if you've got Google on one side, Apple on the other down here, where can you go? These very expensive areas, Cupertino, Saratoga, Los Gatos, Mountain View, these areas are very expensive for a first-time home buyer, whereas Sunnyvale and Santa Clara, with the lower price points, become affordable. And so this becomes a first home purchase, a fantastic choice, because look at the appreciation. They are then enjoying, and historically it's been much higher than this. And I'm not saying that any of these rates are going to continue. And in fact, next month when you look, all these numbers will be different. But you can go down and actually do the math and calculate the difference from the high to the low and see how these have performed over time. And you're going to see that Santa Clara is an outlier. And it's because of its proximity to Google and Apple, and it's affordable, and it's a nice place. Not the best schools, though. So going just for the best schools and paying the money when that's the only reason you're there, it may not get you what you want. It's always going to be supply and demand, which is going to affect prices. So when you have thousands and tens of thousands of engineers, high-paid engineers who want to buy their first home, and they look around, where can they afford? They're pouring into Santa Clara because of affordability. And then you can drill down deeper here. This is the only thing I use Zillow for, is to look at the appreciation. This is the 95051. Notice there's a 15% change. 95054, a 16.4% change. But look at the average price, $1.3 million, and a higher appreciation in this area, which is more expensive, 95051, 1.5 million, and it's 15%. So again, it's the affordability and the proximity to work that's made the difference. So why is this? Well, you imagine if you're working here at Facebook and you want to buy a home that's a comfortable commute, you want the shortest commute, the best neighborhood possible so that you can focus on family and work with all your energy and not wear yourself out with a 3-hour commute. That 3-hour commute costs you not just the time in the car, it costs you the wear and tear in your car, but it also costs your performance at work because you've got that fatigue that you're bringing in and that fatigue when you go home. And so it has a depressing effect on all the aspects of your life. So that's why the competition is highest for those areas right around the best paying jobs. And Facebook is one of the highest paid employers, large employers in the area. So it's gonna go in kind of a zone. The first shell is going to be the closest areas around the biggest employer, and then you're going to go out. The people that can't afford to buy in that first shell will have to go to the second shell, and so then you go out. The people that were going to buy in the second shell can no longer afford to compete because there's high-paid employees who have both more cash and more income to compete for that home. And so those people are pressed out into the third shell. And this just continues out in waves. The further you get, the less the impact. But it has an impact throughout all the Bay Area. And you can see on the map here from the density of employers, their reach, their shells overlap one another. And so this South Bay Area is really robust and it's under constant development as well. So I anticipate that this is always going to be the case. Nobody at Google is suddenly going to say, hey, I would much rather drive to Modesto every day than buy closer to work. That just doesn't make sense. As you begin to think about what you're going to do, it's very common for people to begin to ask their friends, their family, their coworkers, what do they know? What are their experiences? And in the next episode, I'm going to show you why that anecdotal evidence can be so hazardous to your finances. Until next time, I'm JohnnyB. Well, Tesla's just, again, the passion of the employees. You can see the corporate mission is completely filtered through all the employees. You can feel it. The commitment to change the world, to make something better, and to do it in a profound way, an organized way, and from so many fronts. It's just amazing. The technology, the thing that really impacted me was you have robotics, you have great computer science going on, but you have humans putting on the final touches. These machines are developing and stamping out things with such power that it causes earthquake triggers, right? And at the same time, you've got guys with kit gloves controlling environments and hand polishing to make sure that it has the final luster that they need. It's really an interesting combination.